You've got the amazing pressure washer, you've got the hose and reel, you've got the deionizing system, but there's just something missing from your personal setup that's not letting you get to the elite level of car washing. And we're talking about that today. We're going to be doing the unboxing of these two boom poles and checking out how we're going to install it on our garage wall here. Let's get to it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Detached Garage. We are talking about something that is absolutely going to transform the car washing experience in this wash bay here, and that are the two boom poles in these two boxes. And why two, you ask? Well, we've got a bit of an interesting ceiling setup where we've got a vaulted ceiling and we've got lights along some of the trusses on the bottom side of the trusses. We've painted the ceiling black, and because of that, it's going to be very, very difficult to mount just a standard boom pole up here without swinging it and hitting it into these trusses. Even if we got a larger one and extended it down, then this garage door track system might run into it and everything like that. So what we are going to do is there are two boom poles, a standard ceiling mount boom pole and a wall mount boom pole, which extends that ceiling mount out. So we've got the floor drain here, which is roughly 11 feet off of that wall. And so right now with these two boom poles, we're gonna be about 13 feet off the wall. So we'll be getting just a little bit farther than this, about 2 feet, and then we'll also have the height of the whip. So I'm not sure exactly what all comes with these boom poles, so let's get these things out of the box, take a look at how we're going to set this up in the garage. All right, guys, so here are the boom poles in all of their glory. They are very heavy, especially the double one here. And the reason that is because if you imagine, we're gonna have a boom pole hanging off the wall all the way past this center floor drain here, and you've got 11, almost 13 feet of torque hanging off the side of this thing. So this thing has to be absolutely stout. It's got a huge bracket, very, very thick stainless steel that we're gonna mount to the wall. And so we're gonna have to figure out how to get that mounted to the wall, how to probably put it between a few studs, just so we're making sure it's super secure because of all the torque that's gonna be hanging off the wall. I've got them organized like this because this side of the dual boom is going to be going and mounting to the wall. And I've got them positioned like this because this will be its most compact form. You've got the traditional ceiling mount boom here. This is the model number that is gonna get bolted to this flat section here. So what's going to happen is with this getting bolted to here, that is what is going to allow it to extend out and get all the way over here to the other side of the car. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mount this as high as possible where it still clears the garage door tracks here. This is a 7-foot door, so it is going to be mounted slightly up here a little bit. And so with that 7-foot door, we still need to get this probably much higher than 7 feet because we want this bottom piece to still be above that 7-foot door. So what I think we're gonna do in the first step to this is really figuring out where we can mount the top boom to the wall. And so I used a trick on this. You probably saw me drill through the other side of this wall right next to the stud, and we were able to go and mark all of these stud locations in pencil along the wall. And so what I'm going to do is go on the other side again, and I'm going to try to find either this stud or this stud and go right in the corner and basically drill through as high as I can go right by the double top plate that goes across below the trusses on the other side of this wall. that will kind of allow me to see, okay, now I've got the double top plate on the other side, and we can potentially mount this bracket, either the top or the bottom of it, into that double top plate, which will be super, super secure. So let's go to the other side, let's drill a hole through the wall and figure out where the stud and our double top plate end. All right, guys, I know this is kind of tough to see, but you can see I have the stud marked here. We've got the drill bits coming through the wall. Again, this is to the right-hand side of the stud, and it is just below the double top plate on the wall where the trusses start on the other side. So what we are going to do is take this drywall square. We're going to continue this line up to that up to where this is, and then we're also going to mark the height of the double top plate so we can find out exactly where the double top plate is, so we can try to figure out where exactly we need to mount this behemoth of a hinge to the wall. All right, guys, we're gonna try and do this one-handed with the camera, but I've got the hinge wall mount here, all stainless steel, climbing the ladder. So what we are going to try to do, you can see the line just above the hole, that's the bottom of the top plate. Then the line, the very top line is about 3 inches from the line below it. So basically two 2x4s stacked on top of each other is really 3 inches and not 4 inches. So with that, what we are going to try to do is mount this just to the top of the line so that that hole lines up with the stud and that this hole down here lines up with the stud. And so what I did is I drew a line below this, and that is 12 inches, 12 3/4 inches from the bottom of this to this portion here. So what we really need to figure out now, we know that this bracket here is going to stretch from the very top line to this line here, and that is going to give us our mounting for this, and that is going to sit and ride basically right here on this washer. And so this bottom piece is straight. The top arm is angled downward to form this triangle for support. So what we need to figure out is the distance from the bottom to where this is gonna sit, which is basically then the bottom of this. And then we need to measure from this to the bottom of here, once it's bolted together, to see how much drop we have for this piece here. So once we have all of those measurements figured out, then we can figure out how high we need to mount the bracket so that when we swing this thing, it swings underneath this little ledge here, or this little arc for the garage door track that goes up, so it can make sure we're not gonna hit it and swing underneath it. Over here, we might hit it regardless because we're going to be, we've got basically 13 feet of travel coming over here, and I think we're, less than 13 feet away from the wall over here. So either way, we'll figure that out. But really the height is the biggest issue we've got to figure out. So let's do some measuring, let's figure that out and find out where, height-wise on the wall, we need to mount this bracket. All right, guys, so we're roughly 2 inches from the bottom of this bracket to where the actual boom is going to sit and ride on this washer here. So what we've figured out is that this distance from the bottom here to the top is roughly the same as the bottom of this plate to the bottom of that piece here. And now this portion here is roughly 6 inches from the top of the plate to this washer down here, this nut down here, which is the lowest point of this arm. This nut is right in line with the stainless steel pipe. So what that tells us is, and I already measured it, and you can see, We've got 6 inches down from this top line here, basically the bottom of the bracket up top to the 6-inch mark down here. And what that shows us is, if we zoom out a little bit, if we do mount it as high as possible up here, you can see the 6-inch line, we are above the pressure washer here. So in this same configuration, how this is right now, what we will have is this side over here will actually be up against the wall. So if we flip this, the actual washing side will be over here when it's collapsed like this. So that gives us a little bit of room to mount the wand holder right over here. So we've worked out really, really well how this is all gonna look once this is collapsed on the wall and that bracket is hung. The biggest issue right now that I'm trying to figure out is this unit for the ceiling mount boom. You put the water goes in here, and then it comes down this tube. This fitting screws in to the top here, so you just plumb it right into there. And the wall mount boom has this piece right here, which I'm not sure how this is going to adapt to this if it's mounted. But I think I just answered my own question, and I believe we can just go right into this fitting right here. So I think that solves that. We will just get this mounted up to this piece here. So again, answering my own questions in real time, this little baggie came attached to the ceiling mount, and what came with it was this fitting here, which helps you extend it off of the hole that's in the actual boom. And then inside of this, they also give you this little Allen plug that is going to go in the top here to plug this hole. So this whole thing will be pressurized. So we've got our Teflon tape, and what looks to happen is there is this adapter here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the plug in the top. We're going to get this fitting installed and then get this fitting installed into here. And then this can go into here, and we will get this screwed on just like that. All right, guys, we've got all 4 bolts tightened up. We've got all the fittings tightened up here to send it this way. And we have a pretty decent angle on this thing here. It's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with where this is at. This is gonna be a flex line coming in here anyways, because this is gonna rotate around the bracket here. So, really looking good. And now we can get some good, solid final measurements off of the unit to show what height we are gonna need to mount it on the wall. So let's do that. Welcome back to the boom pole project, people. We are going to start doing some blocking on the other side of the wall. I think we have the height figured out. So we've got some 2x6s. We're gonna do a double 2x6, and then we are going to use these 1/2-inch lag bolts to go through this portion here. And so this will go through here, through the drywall, through the 7/16 sheathing, and then into the double 2x6. So this will be back here. So it should be about that far through, and that will be pretty much perfect. We're gonna use a drill to get these started, do a pilot hole for these. So we'll get that drilled through from this side, but let's get some blocking done on the other side of the wall, and then we can get this thing mounted. All right, guys, blocking is installed on the other side of the wall. We did 5 screws here. We did 3 this way, 2 from this side, and then 4 from this side over here. So we should be plenty fine. Let's get this bracket installed on the other side. All right, so our plan here, I just tried lifting this myself. Heavy, doable if this whole thing didn't swing so easily because of these awesome bearings. So we're gonna tie a rope to it. We've got the rope through one of the rafters here, and we are going to try to get one person up there so we can lift the pin up, get this through, and then the other person will kind of be over here balancing it, helping lift. That's our plan. I'm gonna set this up on the tripod and you guys can make fun of us if this goes real poorly.
Gonna work great.
Gonna work
real good.
This thing is awesome. It is so smooth and it fits just the right distance from the wall to the floor drain on the floor. Let's bring it out. Clears the garage door track real nice and comes out about this far. Now again, we're gonna have a whip on it that will come down all the way to the floor and then about to waist height. So this will be able to, pull on the whip to move that around. But when you get this thing tucked back up to the wall, I think we're gonna have to put a bumper on the wall up there, just so it doesn't crash into it very hard. But this will get put right there, and then the whip will come down and we'll have our gun and wand holder right here. So super excited about how this turned out. I can't wait to get the hoses hooked up and wash a car in here. So that's gonna be the next episode where we're gonna measure our hose lengths, figure out what fittings we all need to get this thing hooked up. Thank you so much for watching Detached Garage. Put your questions in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode.